surrounding the Golden Gate simply disappear. Phyllis, Phyllis, who makes the warning bells on the cable cars play, the gang's all here. Phyllis, Phyllis, who charms the crabs on Fisherman's Wharf right out of their shells, who lights the lamps of Chinatown just by walking in view. Phyllis, 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 it sure isn't you.
You're up early for Saturday.
I couldn't sleep. I thought I'd get some coffee. Here's your morning paper.
Thank you, dear.
What are you doing up? It isn't 7 yet.
Oh, I'm just an early riser. My first husband, Gunnar, used to get up at 6 o'clock every morning to do his calisthenics. He'd do his push-ups, his sit-ups, then his deep knee bends, and then his running in place.
Why did you have to get up?
We used to do them in bed. He called those exercises his gateway to health. He did them all, every morning of his life. Except, of course, the day he died. When he only got as far as the push-ups.
Oh, I'm exhausted. And I have to work today, too.
Well, why couldn't you sleep?
Oh, I'm just worried about Bess up at Lake Tahoe.
Oh, I'm sure they have wonderful ski instructors up there.
I know, but I still have this terrible picture of Bess lying in the snow, her leg broken, with no one around, crying, "Mommy, where's my mommy? I want my mommy. I want my mommy."
We all do, dear. But as we get older, we try to hide it.
There's some sweet rolls in the oven, dear. Phyllis, if you're that worried about her, why don't you call her up?
Oh, I couldn't do that. She's 17 years old. If I call her, she'd feel I still think of her as a baby. It's her first weekend away by herself. She'd feel that her independence had been slighted, that her maturity had been questioned. She'd feel demeaned and hurt. Big deal.
Oh, look. In today's horoscope, they've misspelled Gemini. I wonder if that's a bad sign.
Hello. May I have Bess Lindstrom's room, please? Hey. Oh, hello. I'm sorry, they must have given me the wrong room. Could you get me the operator back, please? I wanted Bess Lindstrom's room. This is Bess Lindstrom. It's a man.
Oh.
Well, could I speak to her, please? She's sleeping.
Oh. Oh!
No, never mind who this is. I'll call back. Oh, God. If only she'd broken her leg.
Now, Phyllis, calm yourself. Phyllis!
You're right. I must remain calm. I must deal with this situation as a mature, rational individual. Now, what exactly is the situation? At 6:45 a.m., I phoned my 17-year-old daughter's room. A man answered and said she was asleep.
Phyllis, if I knew where your mommy was, I'd get her.
Well, will that stop the engine from knocking? You don't know? Well, Well, if you just replace the valve guides, how long will that last? You don't know? Why is it going to take you so long to do the overhaul? What do you mean you have to send to Europe for the parts? My car is a Chevy. You didn't know? Listen, Satch, I'll think about it and I'll call you back.
Stop yelling at me. I've been all over town.
Phyllis, it isn't gonna work.
Now, just look.
Get
like
another one
you'll
before the
see
store
like it.
closes.
What's the
please.
trouble?
Look at.
I asked Phyllis to get a candle for the table. Look what she buys.
That's all they had. That and one that looked like President Ford. I thought the banana was more romantic.
Phyllis, blow it out. Look, Leo. You gotta let the models go at 4.
Yeah.
Shoot the picture without the candle.
Shoot the picture without the candle. Shoot, shoot the picture without the candle? The entire composition is built around the candle. The candle lights the label on the wine. It puts the glow in her cheeks, the sparkle in his eyes. The candle sets the mood for the whole. The candle is the picture.
Leo, shoot the picture without the candle.
Good idea.
Phyllis, could I see you for a second? Phyllis?
I know I've been wrong. It's just that all day my mind has been somewhere else. See, I have this terrible problem. Could we talk about it?
Do we have to?
No.
Ever since you've been working here, I would say on the average of 3 times a week, you come in here with some terrible problem you have to discuss. Well, I have problems of my own, you know.
Oh, Julie, of course you do. We're always talking about my problems. It's been so selfish of me. Oh, Judy, tell me, talk to me about your problems.
Well, the valves of my hydraulic lifters are improperly aligned. And unless I replace the valve guides and the lifters and get my seats grinded, my valves will collide with my piston and I'll need a complete overhaul.
Gee, I don't know what to say.
That's all right. I feel better just talking about it.
Could we talk about me now?
Sure.
Well, it's Bess. Bess has become a woman.
There's a lot of that going around.
I let her go away on a skiing weekend, and I have reason to believe that she met some boy and that she...
What you're trying to tell me is that Bess is no longer as pure as the snow she's been skiing on?
Julie, I don't know what to do. My mind, I can't think. I don't know.
First, you gotta get the facts straight. You gotta find out if what you think happened to Bess really happened.
How do I do that?
Ask her.
Right. Of course, I just ask her, and she'll tell me. Well, there's no point in panicking until I find out the facts. I mean, I'll just ask her, and then she'll tell me.
And either way, you're gonna feel better.
Either way?
Sure. If nothing happened, you'll feel better. And even if something did happen. Bess is a mature, intelligent, sensible girl, so I'm sure she'll lie to you.
Hello, Jonathan.
Oh, hello, Phyllis.
Have an hors d'oeuvre?
No,
Oh, I made them myself.
Oh, lovely.
Bess get back from Tahoe yet?
She'll be back soon.
are you feeling, dear?
Oh, I'm much better. Much better. Ever since I made up my mind to talk to Bess about this thing. I mean, there's no point in getting hysterical before I even know what happened.
Oh, that's right, dear. There's plenty of time to get hysterical after you know what happened.
Even if there was a boy in her room, that doesn't prove anything. Once when I was a girl, I went with a girlfriend to a summer resort, and we met these two lovely boys, and that night, they slept in sleeping bags on the floor of our room because, you know, the resort was full and they couldn't get a room. And they didn't try anything. Not a thing. Of course, they were gay. Anyway, the first step is to ask Bess what happened. In fact, I may not even have to ask her. I mean, I'm her mother. I'll probably know just by looking into her eyes. Yes. All I have to do is look in her eyes and I will know.
That's right. They say that a woman changes. I remember my honeymoon night with Gunnar. I crept out of bed in this strange hotel room at 4 in the morning to find a mirror to see the changes in my face. And when I looked, I couldn't believe the difference. There was this wise, knowing, contented smile. And then I crept back into bed. And it wasn't until the next morning I realized I'd been looking at a print of the Mona Lisa.
I remember my honeymoon with Lars was in Madison, Wisconsin. He didn't want to go to Niagara Falls. He was afraid it might keep him awake. I remember waking up just before dawn and reaching out for Lars. He wasn't there. He was sitting at the window, looking down at the Madison skyline. Just sitting there, staring, silhouetted in the moonlight. I walked over to him, placed my hand on his shoulder and said, "Happy, darling." And he said, "Phyllis, jag har aldrig varit så lycklig i mitt liv." I never asked him that again.
Hi! Hi, Grandma!
Hi, hello there.
Bess, don't say anything. Just come here. I want to look in your eyes. Audrey, you want to come over here and see if you can... What are you looking for? M.
Phyllis, this is Donald Ralston. Donald gave me a lift home from Tahoe. Donald, this is my mother and my grandmother.
Hi.
Oh, so nice to meet you. Won't you sit down?
Well, maybe for a little while.
Can I get you anything?
Oh, no thanks.
So tell us all about your weekend. We want to hear all about it. From the moment you got up, right till the moment you went to bed.
Well, the snow wasn't very good.
Right. Yesterday we couldn't ski at all.
Oh, what did you find to do all day?
We just sort of hung around the hotel. But last night it did snow, so we got some skiing in this morning. This was really very good, and she's just a beginner, you know.
I know.
Audrey! Oh, hello, Bess.
Hi, Jonathan.
Oh, Jonathan, this is a friend of Bess, Donald Ralston, my husband, Judge Dexter.
How do you do?
Nice to meet you, sir.
Judge Dexter is a very wise judge. He can look into the hearts of people and tell if they've done wrong.
Are you from San Francisco, Mr. Ralston?
Yes, I am. In fact, I think you might know my father, Thomas Ralston, from the law school.
Tom Ralston, of course. Audrey, this is Tom and Mary Ralston's boy.
Oh, I should have known. You look exactly like both of them.
I've known your father since I was 20 years old.
Bess is 17 years old.
Well, I've got to get going. Nice meeting you, Judge
Oh,
Dexter.
very nice to meet you.
Mrs. Dexter?
Yes.
Mrs. Lindstrom? Well, it was a real pleasure.
I don't doubt it.
Well, goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bess, I'll call you.
Hey, thanks for the lift. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bess, dear.
Just a second, Phil.
Audrey, why don't you and I go out in the kitchen and have a nice cup of tea? Hmm?
Oh, not right now, dear. I want to hear what Phyllis is going to say to Bess.
Well, I guess I'll go unpack.
Before you do, Bess, is there anything you want to tell me about the weekend?
Not that I can think of.
You sure?
Just that I had the best time I've ever had in my life.
Oh, my God.
Phyllis, you've got to get some perspective on this thing. It's a different world today from the one you grew up in. Even from the one I grew up in. Certain things kids today just don't think are wrong, that we did think were wrong. Not that we didn't do them, but we thought they were wrong. In fact, that's why we did them.
I know the world is changing, Julie, and I try to keep up with it. I try to be a now, today, with it woman. I try to keep up with all the latest synonyms for marijuana. I try to remember all the minority handshakes. I try to remember it's not John Elton. There's some things I just cannot accept. I mean, when I was 17, I had a very strict code of behavior with boys. On the first date, I'd let a boy hold my hands, no more. On the second date, I'd let him place his arm around my shoulder. On the third date, I'd let him kiss me goodnight. On the cheek. Once. Gently. Nothing sustained.
What about the fourth date?
I don't think anybody ever has. Julie, what am I going to do about Bess?
Listen, Phyllis, you don't even really know what happened at the lodge. You have to talk to Bess. And not just to find out what happened, but to let her know that whatever happened, and whatever may happen in the future, you're ready to listen to her and you want to help. Talk to her, Phyllis.
I can't. I can't. I just never discussed this sort of thing with Bess. It was always Lars. It was Lars who taught Bess the facts of life. In fact, it was Lars who told me the facts of life. I just wouldn't know what to say to her.
Phyllis, you're her mother. Didn't your mother ever have a heart-to-heart with you?
Yes. My mother was wonderful that way. Oh, I remember one time. She caught me smoking. She sat me down and she said, Phyllis, I don't care what you do so long as you do it in front of me.
Somehow, I don't think that's the right advice for Bess and Donald.
But you're right, I have to talk to her. Oh, how I wish Lars were here. At least I'd have somebody to blame for all this.
Morning.
Bye. We'll talk about it later, okay?
Talk? About what?
Just a little problem.
What kind of problem? Maybe I can help.
Oh, no, thank you, Leo. It's just not the sort of thing I'd feel like discussing with a man.
You chicks. You want to work with men, you want to play sports with men, but when it comes time to talking, no men allowed. That you only want to do with other women.
Leo?
What?
Even if you were a woman, I wouldn't want to talk to you.
Oh, that's different.
Leo, wait. Maybe it wouldn't hurt to get a man's point of view.
Shoot.
Leo, suppose you had a 17-year-old daughter.
What's her name?
Her name?
It's my daughter. I'm entitled to know.
Her name is Allison.
Okay. I got a 17-year-old daughter named Allison.
Now, suppose...
How's she doing in school?
What difference does it make?
I'm her father.
Straight A's.
That's my Allison.
All right. What would you do if you found out that your 17-year-old daughter was deeply involved with a boy?
Allison? I put an end to it. Because as hip as I am a firm believer in the old-fashioned virtues. I believe that all girls, when they marry, should be totally innocent.
Leo, what if you had a son? Biff.
Oh, please, I've got enough trouble with this rotten daughter.
Come in.
Bess, do you have a minute?
Sure.
I thought we could have a little chat. That is, if it's all right with you.
Sure, Phil.
There's nothing else you had to do?
Nope.
You positive?
Positive.
Then let's chat. Now then, there are certain things around here that we have to get straight. And we are going to get them straight here and now. And I mean it. I really mean it. I mean it. Do you know what I mean? Now, I am your mother, and you are my daughter. But let's just say for 1 minute that you are my mother, and I am your daughter. How would you like that?
No.
I'll bet you don't, because you are not my mother. I am your mother, and don't you ever forget it.
Yeah, I'll try, Phil.
Well, you say that now. But when a daughter has a mother, and she has something to say to that mother, then she should say it. Because when a mother and a daughter can't sit down and talk about things that should be talked about, who can they talk about it with? And I am not going to stand for that. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think so.
What am I saying?
That a daughter should talk to her mother.
Right. Well, I'm glad we had this little talk. I shall see you at dinner. Beth, Saturday morning, I phoned your room at the ski lodge, and a man answered and said you were asleep.
Phyllis, did you want to talk about that?
Yeah?
Well, why didn't you say so? Come on, let's talk about it.
Thank you.
Oh, Phyllis, I hope you don't mind. We decided to eat without you, but I kept everything warm.
Thank you, Audrey.
Everything go all right with Bess?
She confided in me. My daughter confided in me.
She told you what happened up at the ski lodge?
She told me.
I can assume from your face that nothing happened.
I didn't say that.
Something did happen?
No, I didn't say that either. Jonathan, Audrey, you must forgive me, but whatever Bess told me was between mother and daughter and must remain forever confidential, or else Bess could never confide in me again. You understand?
Certainly.
Of course.
Now, if you'll forgive me. Nothing happened.
rounding the Golden Gate simply disappear. Phyllis, Phyllis, who makes the warning bells on the cable cars play, the gang's all here. Phyllis, Phyllis, who charms the crabs on Fisherman's Wharf right out of their shells, who lights the lamps of Chinatown just by walking in view. Phyllis, 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 it sure isn't you.
You're up early for Saturday.
I couldn't sleep. I thought I'd get some coffee. Here's your morning paper.
Thank you, dear.
What are you doing up? It isn't 7 yet.
Oh, I'm just an early riser. My first husband, Gunnar, used to get up at 6 o'clock every morning to do his calisthenics. He'd do his push-ups, his sit-ups, then his deep-knee bends, and then his running in place.
Why did you have to get up?
We used to do them in bed. He called those exercises his gateway to health. He did them all, every morning of his life. Except, of course, the day he died. When he only got as far as the push-ups.
Oh, I'm exhausted. And I have to work today, too.
Well, why couldn't you sleep?
Oh, I'm just worried about Bess up at Lake Tahoe.
Oh, I'm sure they have wonderful ski instructors up there.
I know, but I still have this terrible picture of Bess lying in the snow, her leg broken, with no one around, crying, "Mommy, where's my mommy? I want my mommy. I want my mommy."
We all do, dear. But as we get older,